I had been under the weather a few days ago, and I knew that it was a coinciding with, yes, there's a human cold happening because my little grandson was sick, and then next was my granddaughter just moving around. However, I don't just stay in the human part of it because to me, everything has a divine beginning. So it's like, okay, God, I've got this cold. I know I'm going to get more sleep. I know I'm going to drink more fluids. That's just part of what happens in the taking care of the physical vessel. But what upgrade am I getting? What is it that I'm going to be experiencing? And what I was sitting with is it is just so time to acknowledge that I am the light. God doesn't come to me. There is no, and I know when I teach, I would say, okay, we're calling in because that's just what we're comfortable with until we get comfortable with accepting that it comes from us. It doesn't come from anywhere. There is no anywhere. There is no out there. There is only the withinness. And within is the light of God. Within within us is God. It cannot not be anywhere else. From here, it extends. Infiniteness of God is, we are the opportunity for the extension of that infiniteness. Now, while we are believing God is outside and source is outside and power is outside, of course, we're going to experience it out there. And that's part of the process. This dropping from consciousness, this fall of humanity, of all beings, because we all have the opportunity to move further and further and further away from what source is. So we come from this infinite place where all is, and then we little by little, our consciousness gets closed and we lower ourselves in frequency and we drop ourselves into a finite identity. So, of course, everything that is out there is part of creation. However, what turns this game upside down, what totally changes is everything, is when we come back into the inside and remember that from here, we then begin to extend it out. So we are one with all that is, and we condense ourselves into a small, tiny idea, is what the Course in Miracles calls it. However, the way out of the insanity, the way out of the madness of the idea that I'm separate from God is the process of activating that truth within, aligning with it, accepting it, surrendering to it, and then extending it. Then we begin to be the ones who are creating this reality. So then the outer is a reflection of that which is within. Yes, as we are descending, the outer is a reflection of our consciousness, and it's going to be reflecting primarily that which is in separation. So it's going to be, if we break it down into good and evil or dark and light, whatever word you want to use, love and fear, then what we're seeing out there is going to contain so much of that which is the evil, the dark, or the fear, because it is reflecting our state of separation. But when we begin the process of unifying within, when we begin to heal, we bring all of these orphan aspects of ourselves, all of these wounded aspects of ourselves, we bring them all together. And we recognize that there is one mature being who is the one who is waking up to realize, I got to do all this inner healing inside. And that cannot begin until we stop blaming the outside. It's a game of wholeness, of healing. It's a game of bringing in everything into a cohesive oneness. Well, who's doing that? It's the one that's awakening. It's the one that's realizing, oh my gosh, I got to do this. The one that begins to feel recognition of the peace, of the joy, of the alignment, the connection to source.